Okay, we're on Daf Lamed Vav and Ois Beis. The meaning of Pnimis Halev is the stirring of the heart from the depth of the heart. That's from Tillim. That at the highest level, it's beyond Tam B'das that can be understood through simple human intellect. And this is that level of Elikus that's revealed within the level of Yechida, to pour out your soul to the very depth of the Father, mamash, in the level of total bittul. And this comes only from the Seviv Kol Almin. Because Mamalik Kolam, that is the highest Niyori and Soif, that is invested within the physical world, cause, effect, level after level. And the Seviv Kolam is that which Hashem is exclusive, just as He was before He created the world. There is no characteristic of worlds or stages of awareness. There is no up, down, and so on. Like it says, the heavens and the earth, behold, I fill them. That heavens and earth are identical. Like it says, V'al-Kodesh b'Shamayim v'Aretz, that it is Kodesh and moved all in the heavens and the earth. Like it says regarding on the earth below, that even the Ruchnius, the way it is considered Gashmius in contrast to Hashem. And therefore the Malachim say, where is God's glorious place? And we say, the whole world is His glorious place. Now the Kachavim and all of the heavenly hosts, all of these Kachavim, the Mazolos that receive from the Ayin Sarim, they receive their highest only from the residue, from the highest of the highest, that it reaches from only Ruach Biv, which is, again, through the procedure. Now, the Gemara tells us that this ain't Mazel Yisrael. We are not dictated by Mazel because Hashem Himself is the one who orchestrates it. You will be to me a nation of priests. You will receive from me, from this detached level, not the Hishtalshlus level, the level of Seitzei. And that is the source of this love that every Jew has buried within his heart. To have a love that is higher than anything logical from the stirring of his heart. Like it says in Tillim, who do I have in the heavens? The people I do not desire in the earth. They are all surrendered to me, the rock of my heart, and so forth. Now, this level of love that's in the nefesh is hidden within a thick sack. This level of gullus, the guf, and the nefesh Bahamas, like we are told that we were exiled to Edom, the Shekhinah went with us, that the Shekhinah is the divine spark within the soul, this level of gullus and subservience. The concern about Parnasa that seems to engulf us and consume us and block our love for Hashem. That we're constantly worried, where will we have our bread? Our heart is constantly disturbed and our thoughts are constantly distracted. And regarding this, we say, whoever will kill the snake, that is, if we will overcome these external issues through this battle that is put within our hand, through the intellect, then we will be given from above the daughter of the king, this level of the Nekuda of the Pnimis Halev, this battle for Hashem against Amalek to take it from the hidden to the revealed. And this is what we mean when we say Seitzei l'Milchama, that is the battle of Zelu Mazeh. Then it will be over our enemies, this level of the revelation of the Nekudas Halev that comes from Seviv Kol Almin, that is higher than our enemies, that the enemy has no authority or even influence. Like we say that we are part of Hashem, and then we will take captives. We will transform the ra to good. We will remove the filthy garments. That is, we will reveal the light of Hashem, the Seviv Kol Almin, the Pnimius, and the Kudas Halev, which is beyond and higher than our enemies. Now, this revelation that comes about through the victory in battle, through the power of the soul down here, is a revelation of the Nekuda of the Lev in the heart, to transform the garments of thought, speech, and action of Zelu Mazeh, and to accumulate all of our koiches that are otherwise spread out within our nefesh and all of their individual expressions, that all of these koiches are only spread out in the levushim. And regarding this, the pasuk says that even if you will be in the most distant exile, I will gather you. These nedochim, these exiled ones, is a reference to our spiritual koiches that are spread out from our neshama, that are become invested and hijacked by the guf and the nefesh Bahamis through this multitude of thoughts that are constantly confusing us and disrupting the person. As we know from all of our distracted dreams and this torment of kafa kela, that is the garments that can consume us and enclose us from head to toe, that we are trapped in. And the gathering is through the revelation of the Nekudas Halev that comes from the Seviv Kol Almin, that which is given from above when we kill the snake. And in order for there to be the revelation of this Nekudas Halev, to transform it, the Midas in their essence from evil to good, regarding which it says that you will see in captivity this beautiful woman. This is the continuation of the Parsha. What does this mean? The beauty is the idea that it says that a person is made in the image of Hashem, and it says that God created man in his image, in the image of God. Twice it uses the word tselem, because we have two levels within the neshama. One is the aspect of the neshama that's expressed within the body, and that comes down here through the processes of ishtalshelus, cause and effect, like it says, my glory, my creations, my formations, even that which I have made, a reference to the four stages, the four olamos. And then we have the second level, and that's the level of neshama that is beyond the body. It is not expressed within the physical body. That's the mazel level. That, like we say, even if one doesn't see it, his mazel sees it, because the mazel has an impact on the person. It's drawn down within the person. Now, this neshama that's in the level of makif is called the beautiful woman, that it radiates there, this level of l'cha Hashem hagdula v'hagvura v'hatiferes. This is the quote from Divrei Hayamin that we're familiar with, a reference to this level of beauty, that this is the idea of the beauty of our beloved, like it says in Shir Hashirim. And this is the level of the neshama within the body where it is called the beautiful woman, that it receives from this level of beauty. And in order to take this beautiful woman out of captivity down to its essence and its very being, that is the seichel and the midas, that they should be exclusively for Hashem, and to uproot any evil that is within it, this is through the transformation of the midas of to that which is negative, ra, to that which is teiv mamish, and to subsume it within kedusha. In order to do that, we have to draw it down from a level of mazel, which is the level of the neshama beyond its encasement within the body. Regarding which David HaMelech writes in Tilim, Bok Shufanai, we are seeking Hashem's essence, that is the atzmas and the pnimis and the kudas halev, and the stirring of the heart, which is otherwise hidden, and we have to seek it, we have to look for it, we have to go and pursue it. How do we go and pursue it? So it says, my face I am asking for. There's the pnimis of Hashem. Vayavar Hashem apanav. That from here we draw down the 13 Yigimon Sarachamim, which are drawn down during specifically the days of Slichas, the time that is most appropriate above, the propitious Eis Ratzon. And throughout the rest of the year, this is manifest in us internally through Torah and mitzvahs, which are the pnimis and the Ratzon of the Ratzon and the wisdom of Hashem, in his very essence, that no thought can otherwise grasp. And through engaging in Torah, through calling out in Torah and drawing down the Chachma of Hashem, that Torah comes from Hashem's Chachma, which is the level of the Ha'ara radiating the Pneumius, like it says that the Chachma of a person radiates his face. Through this, it radiates the face together with us. And the mitzvahs, which are the Ratzon of Hashem, the 613 mitzvahs, the 7 mitzvahs that are Rabbanan, a gematria of the 620, reference to the pillars of light that are drawn down through the fulfillment of mitzvahs, like we say, Asher Kiddishanu b'mitzvah. So like it says, Hashem puts on tefillin. And tzedakah most of all, because the union of tzedakah is the midah of chesed, that is gratuitous kindness, to uplift those who are fallen, that this is the level of the hishtalshelus, where all is brought as nothing before Hashem. This is the idea, like we say, v'haya maisat tzedakah shalom. Tzedakah brings about peace. Like it says, shalom to the distant and shalom to the close, that those who are distant become close, because shalom is the level of unifying above and below, that also the distant should feel close. And just it is drawn down from above to below, this level of Espanecha Hashem. So too, it is drawn from below to above, the idea that we desire his face, that it should be the Pnimius Halev, should be subsumed within the Ur Ein Sof. And it's not only of this world, the Olam Hazeh, which is the gathering of the scattered neshamas that are throughout the world and are scattered in our thoughts and our deeds and our action and the garments of our soul that are drawn down into this world. But even in Gan Eden Atach and Elyon, like the pasuk says, who do I have in heaven? My people I do not desire in the earth. Regarding it says, who shall go up from the wilderness and will bring it to my beloved? And this is what it means, that he then takes her as a wife. Again, continuing the parsha, like it says, on this day he is called my man. That is through Torah, like our sages say, when is our wedding? That's Matan Torah. That Torah is the level of the Chassan, and the Jewish people are the Kala. And in order for there to be this connection through Torah and mitzvahs, the Pnimis Ratzon of Hashem, in order to elevate the Pnimis and the Kudas Halev and the level of Atzm Som Hus, there has to first be this Bechashaktaba, the desire for her. Again, a quote from the Parsha, that his whole desire should be for it, that one spirit brings another spirit and continues to do so. If you will dedicate your heart, then the Ruach and the soul will be collected to you, which is not the case if a person doesn't have this passion to elevate from the depth of his heart. It certainly won't come to him. Oistalid, we're in Daf Lamed Vav Amud Gimel. Then the pasuk continues and it says, "You shall take her into your house." What does this mean? So the pasuk says in the Zohar, it says in the pasuk that says that which falls shall not rise. What does it mean? That it cannot rise on its own. But it says, rather, Bayomu Akim, I will cause you to rise. Hashem will elevate him. Hashem will bring him up from where he has otherwise fallen. And that is to be the Or Pnei Hashem that is drawn down below, that it should be like the water that reflects the face. As it says, he will return us with tshuva shlema lifanecha, dafka lifanecha, to the level of pnimius, total tshuva, toshav Hashem. And this is the level of rising up, that Hashem will lift up, he will establish the Sukkos David HaNefelis. And this is the level of Aser Shemei Tshuva, where Hashem responds to us, Kamaim upon him, that the slichos, that we pass over this level of Avaya, that it should be in Aser Shemei Tshuva, V'achsrenu b'Tshuva, Shleim Lefanecha. And then the pasuk says that he should shave her head and he should allow her nails to grow long. Now the hair of the head is the shallow, the moisrei hamoichin, that when our intellect winds up being distracted into the shallowness of the world. And the fingernails growing is when we allow our amidas to be distracted in the world, like Avram, who produced Yishmael, a distorted form of chesed. And a person has to remove these extraneous aspects. From the level of Sitra Kedusha, there should only be for Kedusha, like the Yigimim and the Sarachamim, that bring down the level into even the sights, even the shallow aspects. And this is why there is a concept like the nausea, where he allows his hair to grow long. And the Levium down here in this world, which are the harsh rigidity, that there has to be shaved. And by a woman, that her hair is considered nakedness, because it is subject to being hijacked. And this is what we say, that an Amma Aretz, a simpleton, is prohibited to eat meat. What does that have to do? Because meat is brought down into this world, and it's considered extraneous, whereas a tzaddik eats to satisfy his soul. But like it says, even the simple chatter of a Talmid Chacham is worthy of study, and therefore the Baal Tshuva has to restrain himself in order to distance himself from potential relapse into indulgences, back to where he was. Then the pasuk says that he has to remove her captive's garments, and this is what the sages say, that there is no shadow of a shadow of the Yetzer Hara, but there is a single shadow. Why? Because one is opposite the other. It is the level of makif, that an avera can cause an avera, and it can stain the person, and he has to remove this level of makif that is all around him. That is this whole culture of sin, because sin separated from Hashem. They interrupt his relationship and the revelation of godliness that is otherwise drawn down through Torah and mitzvahs. And that sins block the expression of the Pnimus Halev. It doesn't touch him in the depth of his heart. So he has to remove this cover to this level of makif, this Zelu Mazeh. And through this, the Parsha says, she will dwell in his home. That it will be there in a manner of dwelling. It will be rooted in kviyas. That is, this love of Hashem will be fixed within his heart and will never again abandon him. And then he will come to a higher level, the level of Avachse. She will cry for her father. What is this level? The Mailan Madrig of crying is Tshuva. This loftiest level, loftier than all of them. There's so many different levels within Tshuva, and the highest one is, like it describes in the Pasuk of Yirmiyah, they will cry out and they will cry out. And this is the crying out that brings about Rachmanis, like Moshe Rabbeinu cried when he was discovered by Baspada. And regarding this, it says regarding Rabbi Akiva that he said that Shir Hashirim, when he said Shir Hashirim, his eyes cried tears and tears. That this is because of his attachment with the essence of Hashem, higher than anything he could otherwise touch. A level where nothing else could affect him. And regarding this, it says in the name of the Arizal that whoever does not cry in Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, his neshama is not going to be complete. For this crying out is the totality of his neshama, and primarily in Yom Kippur, the level of Tshuva Ilah, where he stands before Hashem, and that's what brings him to Tahara. Now there's an explanation on this Maimer. We're in Daf Lamed Vav Amud Gimel. The idea that a man is created in the form of Hashem Etzel Malakim, and the idea that there is no shadow of a shadow of Klipa. That it says in the Pasuk in Bereshis that Hashem created man B'tzal Moi, B'tzelim Malakim. And the Yetz Chaim explains the idea of tzelem, the tzaddik, the lamed, and the mem of tzelem, as we will explain. That the moichin of zah is the level of nefesh. We're now in Amadalit. And the chayis comes to zah. And this is the vision. This is a very spiritual idea, the totality of all of the spheres. And this is expressed within the kelim of zah, within the very body, to give it life. And this is the tzelem that we have these three levels. We have tzaddik, lamed, dalit. We have there makifim. Tzaddik is the orpanimi, as we will explain. The orpanimi is tzaddik because it's the tes svira, it's not malchus because it's not expression. Chabad, Chavgas, Nihi, and each one of them included of all 10 spheres, so that's how you get 10 times 9 is 90. Then you have Lam, which is Makif, because it's the 3 Moichin, Chabad of Atzilis. Each one, again, subsumed within the 10 spheres. 3 times 10 is 30, that's Lamed. That is the Makif to the light in general, the Tes spheres of Zoh, which is the level of Tzad. Then you have Mem. Mem is Keser because it is all-inclusive. It includes all 4 levels, just like Chabad, which is the level of Makif, that the Makif is a level of Lamed that can be sometimes invested within the Or Pnimi and the Kelim, which is not the case with the Mem, which is a Makif of Makif. And nevertheless, from these 2 Makifim of Lamed and Mem, you have the idea of Keser of Zah, and it radiates from a distant level higher than the level of Keser of Zah. And so to above, we say from the top of all levels, the Or Pnimi, which is in the level of the Kaf. And just as it is within the Neshama, so too, like we say, that Hashem created Adam B'Tzalma, B'Tzelem Elokim, and the Ikarin of Tzelem is to be a bridge between Elokus and the Neshama, because the Neshama is the level of a creation, Yesh Miyayin, through investiture in the Malchus of Asiyah and the Caleb. And all of this is still the level of Elokus. How do we then get it to be within the level of the Neshama, which is a Nivra? This is through the Tzelem Elokim, which is divided up to the Tzaddik of Tzelem, that is the level of Elokus within the Neshama. The Lamed is the Makif, and this is the level of Mazel that is mentioned earlier, that the Mazel sees it. And from there, it draws down the level of the Tzaddik to be invested in the Neshama, to take this remote essential concept and manifest it into the Neshama. Like we know the statement of the Baal Shem Tov regarding the idea of a baskol, that we asked, who hears this baskol? And if nobody hears it, what's its value? But the idea is that the mazel hears it. And therefore, it also has a, what we might call subconscious or non-tangible impact on the person. That's what we call it mazel, because it is trickling down. It has a hashpah. And this is a level of Elokus that is not mislabish in the nefesh. And it is higher than the level even of a malach, like the Chaim Vital writes in Shar Kedusha Nevuah, that this great level, where there is a revelation of the neshama, is higher than the level of Gili Eliyahu, that is the level of the neshama that is higher than the body. That's the Lamed of Tzelem. And it's called Yifas Tayar, back to the Parsha, the beautiful woman, which is from Zoh itself. Like it says again, the vision of the man on the throne in Yecheskel's vision, and again, Tiferes, this level of beauty. Tiferes is the Iker because it is all of the colors together that are drawn down through the Lamed of Chabad. Like it says, Chochmas Adam Tayar Panav, the wisdom of a person lights up his face, that his face becomes brightened from understanding a new idea, that this new idea is drawn down from an abstract concept of makif, and then when he grasps it, it lights up his face like 2 bright apples. And the mem is from Arichan, like we said, the tzaddik is the Eishis Yifastaya that is invested, and the avodah is to elevate the tzaddik of Tzelem to make it beautiful. Similarly, the tzaddik that is brought down into Malchus is called Eishis Yifastaya, and the lamed that remains above is the vision on the throne. And just as the neshama is divided up in these 2 levels, that which radiates within the body and that which remains above and hovers above it, it comes to this hashpah in the neshama. That completes Daf Lamed Vav.